because what I do in my coaching, when somebody gets on the phone with me, even if it's a free consultation, the first thing I do is let's look at your social media and let me just put my 2 cents in on how I think it could be better, worse, or maybe it's great and you should be playing up on it more. I'm really not trying to tell anybody anything bad about it. I want to help them and show them what could be done better, what's fantastic. Here's an example. If you do at least one post a month, that's not a big commitment here. With these factors in mind, you're going to do better for your business. It's really that simple. You could do other posts. I want you to do other posts. Look for these principles.
Welcome to another episode brought to you by Imagine Strength, the future of safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Are you a HIIT studio owner looking for equipment that's not just top-notch, but also tailored to your specific needs? Imagine Strength is your answer. Inspired by the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength is revolutionizing the HIIT industry with their state-of-the-art yet affordable equipment. Their team doesn't just sell HIIT equipment, they live and breathe it. I've personally experienced their gear at the Resistance Exercise Conference, and let me tell you, it was an intense workout that I won't soon forget, in the best way possible, of course. So why choose Imagine Strength? Number one, they provide customized solutions for HIIT studios. Number two, they have budget-friendly yet high-performance designs. And number three, they're committed to innovation and excellence in high-intensity training specifically. Founder Jeff Turner and his dedicated team are on a mission to make HIIT accessible to everyone. Getting started is easy. Number one, visit imaginestrength.com. Number two, consult with their expert team. And number three, choose the equipment that will skyrocket your business. Don't wait. Head over to imaginestrength.com and elevate your HIIT studio today with Imagine Strength. Lawrence Neal here, and welcome back to High Intensity Business, your one-stop shop for elevating your HIIT business and fueling your passion for high-intensity training. This is episode 459, and I'm joined by Pete Serqua. Pete Serqua is a master high-intensity fitness coach and creator of the 90-second fitness solution. He has been professionally coaching since 1985 and is also a 5-time best-selling author for Simon & Schuster and Skywars Publishing, and which include the books High Intensity Fitness Revolution for Women and High Intensity Fitness Revolution for Men. He owned and operated a small high-intensity training studio averaging $1.2 million in revenue over 16 years. His coaching program shows personal trainers how to earn 7 figures per year. You can book a free, I can't believe you're offering this, Pete, it's unbelievable, a free HIIT business consultation with Pete Serqua over at highintensitybusiness.com/coaching. So today, Pete, we are going to be reviewing social media posts from our colleagues. We're going to be obviously reviewing a number of posts, a collection that you've selected. We're going to be talking about the good and the bad, and hopefully, the studios and the people or friends of ours who will be spoken about will receive this well. There will obviously be some light criticism, but hopefully we can provide some useful insights that will be useful to you in terms of improving your marketing, but also give you some free advertising in the way of the podcast, and we'll link to your business from the website, which might give you a little bit of SEO juice and advertising as well. So that's what we do in return, AP.
Yes, Lawrence, I want to be clear on this, that I collect on my Instagram account, I collect and save all high intensity business posts that I come across, all of them. And it just in a folder. And I told you about this a while back. I said, I'd love to review these because what I do in my coaching, when somebody gets on the phone with me, even if it's a free consultation, the first thing I do is let's look at your social media and let me just put my 2 cents in on how I think it could be better, worse, or maybe it's great and you should be playing up on it more. It's really not a critique. I'm really not trying to, tell anybody anything bad about it. I want to help them and show them, what could be done better, what's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yep. I'm looking forward to disagreeing with you on this. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and then we're just going to go through one by one.
Great.
Oh, and it's probably important to say that this is a very visual podcast. So if you're listening to this, you may be better off going to YouTube or Facebook and actually watching the video for getting the most benefit from this one. We'll do our best to describe in words what we're talking about, but yeah, it might be easier. It might get more value by actually seeing the video for this. So, P, we've got our first one up there. I believe this is from Pure Physique, right?
Your Physique, our good friends Mike and Corey Beth Lepowski, and their studio design is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, they've got the word wall in the back, and they're using Nautilus One equipment, which is it's a thing for me. I like neat, clean, organized, and Mike and Corey Beth have done this at a level that most people don't get to. It's really neat, and plus they're a little bit different. However, in this particular post, these posts, it's a static shot. It's a moment in time, and it doesn't tell the whole story, which is all the more reason to get it really, really right. Okay. And do any little tweak. In this one, I would rather the trainer dressed a little bit differently. I would rather that the trainer not be wearing a hat, maybe at a little bit more of a 3/4 angle so we can see the face of the trainer. The trainer is definitely mid-instruction, mid-sentence. I would rather them smiling. The client is focused on the exercise, and this is good, yet I really don't want that. And I think it's more marketable if they're both sitting there kind of looking towards the camera and they're both smiling and they're having a good experience. We will see other posts as we scroll through that show this angle that I'm talking about. It's, in my opinion, slightly more marketable. Remember, when you put a post up, you are trying to attract people who don't feel good about themselves, who are scared to death to have a workout with a one-on-one breathing situation. That's where they're coming from. So it has to be welcoming and it has to bring their stress level down. If it looks at all like it's, oh my goodness, this is going to be a tough workout and it's going to hurt me, that's just going to scare them more, and they're not going to hit the call button or they're not going to send you a message. No call to action. So I love Mike's colors, equipment choices. I love Mike's program. In this particular photo and post, I'd make some changes.
Yeah. Just quick question. I agree with you largely on what you said there in terms of the smiling. We know that is just a good.
Agree with me?
Yeah, I know. It's shocking, right? Yeah. Just on this one, like it's kind of a well-known marketing theme that, if you have smiling people using your products and services, that's a good way to inspire the user to take positive action. What if you make every photo that, right? So you have a bunch of these up on your social media and they're all of like happy, smiley client who doesn't seem to be at all uncomfortable and smiley trainer. Do you not think there needs to be some realism? Some of the photos should show some effort, some change in pace there. If you're looking at a large number of photos.
Well, there definitely needs to be a variety of posts, and they don't all need to be smiling. But we're going to go through some of the other posts where you'll see variation, and you're going to see. And there's a few in particular. I don't know if I have them here or not for you, but I'll tell you about them that are different and great. And really, really inviting. So yes, you are correct. We need variety, but it still has to welcome this basically insecure person into your facility.
Did we just agree on something there, Pete? Sorry.
It's in infamy now, so everybody can see it. That's gonna be most replayed. You'll see.
All right. Should we go to the next one?
Please. Yes.
Okay. Xavier.
This gentleman, this post is a video. And he is explaining 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. And he's going through the math, and these, subtitles are coming up with, how many calories you need to burn in a week to burn a pound of fat, and calorie deficits. And I call these educational posts. In my opinion, clients will scroll right past them, potential clients. Now, me, I'm a professional and I'm not going to pay this guy a penny and I'm not going to make him any money. I may sit here and watch what he has to say to see if he's right, but that's not making him any money. So the average person who is 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight and thinking about a personal trainer is not going to stop. And this is not going to speak to them. They don't want to be educated. And I'll tell you why they don't want to be educated. They feel so poorly. And this is the majority of potential new clients. Obviously, there's some outliers, but they don't feel good about themselves. And you're going to tell me about 3,500 calories is a pound of fat, and I overate by 50,000 calories this week. And that just makes me feel worse. And it's not that his information is not valid. It's not that it's not helpful. It's just not helpful to this person. So you and I might stop in and watch this short video and say, yeah, okay, spot on. Yeah, this information's good, but we're not paying them anything. So educational, you really want to watch educational posts. Plus coming across like you're an expert. Okay. Remember Pete's number one rule of a successful business. It's not about you. It's about them. What you really want to be doing in a post is telling people how I can help you. You may be suffering from this problem. Here's how I can help. Kind of a theme.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I probably don't disagree much with that, actually. Yeah, I just some additional thoughts. I love Xavier's stuff. Now, funny, it's like as a professional, you're right. Like I'm not paying Xavier for his services, but I love his content. I find it really engaging. I think he's very articulate. I think some of his ideas are fantastic. I mean, we literally steal his ideas and repurpose them in different ways with Optimus Strength because he just says something like that's so the way he's put that across. Like he had this really good post. There's a bunch of good ones he's done, but this really good one on if you get questions about nutrition, do you do nutrition plans or diet? And his sort of rebuttal to that is we feel that personal trainers continuously go outside their scope of practice, and we would always refer you to a registered dietitian or nutritionist. And we just focus on the strength workouts. I just think that's so good. That's exactly what you want to say, in my opinion, to someone who asks for that type of advice, because you're saying to them, look, most personal trainers out there are like trying to do too much and they're charlatans. They don't have a clue what they're talking about when they're doing all these different, nutritional guidance on top of their personal training. So you want to work with a professional in that particular space. I will also say that Xavier gave me the best virtual body weight workout I've probably ever experienced a couple of years ago, which actually really inspired me to build a virtual training business and help others build virtual training businesses as well.
Well, that's a post. We need this gentleman to get somebody like you to say, hey, I had the best body weight workout ever in my life. This guy's really something. That's a great post.
Yeah.
No equipment necessary or something like that. Now, I'll focus on this for a second. In that, I want to compare this to a coaching call that I did yesterday, where I was on with a gentleman who is very successful in our field, and he just wants to go to the next level and he wants to branch out a bit. Okay. So one of the things we talked about were his consultations. And I said, tell me about your consultation. When a client calls you up and, what do you say to them? You book the appointment. When they walk in the door, what do you do? And I took notes and I said, we are very close to the same thing, but I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because there's one or two words that are slightly different that really change the whole feel of the consultation. So we could be very, very close on our approaches, yet one's going to be a little bit more successful and get the client in the door and to sign up. In this gentleman's case, he's got a great speaking voice. If you find one of his posts, he's got a great way about him. You can't have a voice that's too low or too high. Some people are just naturally very baritone. That could be a little intimidating for clients. It can't be too high. But he's got a great speaking voice. He's got a great look. He's groomed well. He's got his logo. I can list lots and lots of things that are spot on here. Okay. but the message doesn't come across in a way, in my opinion, that's going to pull the client in. Now, an example of this, and knocks it out of the park. Luke Carlson does a post. We may even have a screenshot of it here in this collection. Luke Carlson of Discover Strength has a post every week called Friday Fit Tip. It's an excellent post. What's different about Luke's post and this post? Luke comes on, it's a tight shot in the camera, just like this. It's very close up. He's got papers in his hands. And he says, Friday Fit Tip. This week, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, I'm just going to use this, why 3,500 calories will burn 1 pound of fat. I have this research right here. And he starts reading off a little bit of it. So he doesn't come across, even though Luke is probably just as smart, if not smarter than most of us, including me, in this area, he doesn't come across as the expert. He looks like the guy that went out and he went out of his way to find this out for you. And here's what I read about this. And this is really interesting. And this is how, I see this applying to you, and us. And that's the service. He went out and got something for you, where this gentleman is coming across as the expert, where he invented this formula, 3,500 calories a pound of fat. It's just a little twist on the same exact post. One of them's going to draw in 50 people, and one of them's going to get you and I, Lawrence, just to watch it.
Mm.
My opinion.
Yeah, I at first I wasn't sure if I agreed with you on this, but I think there's a massive trend of people putting out content saying how to do X, and it's kind of becoming a little bit cringeworthy. And I've done plenty of it, so I'm guilty. Because it's like you are saying you are the expert, and you're opening yourself up for criticism, and there's a lot of ego associated with that. Whereas I think if you say, this is kind of related to your point. It's like if you say how I did X, it's very different. How to do X, how we did, how I did, how you can do, how you can do maybe still a little problematic. Yeah, I mean, that's slightly different because you're talking about focusing on them, what you did for them, not positioning yourself. I just think we have to be careful about positioning ourselves as experts. I don't know if this is coming across very well. Do you kind of get what I'm trying to say here?
I do. I want to
Yeah.
point out that in my own personal training, my own consultations, when I would get a client in the door, I never once mentioned that I wrote a book, or books, plural, 5 times. I did not come across as if I invented the workout. I would always say, there is this protocol that I think would fit you very well. I think it'll make your pain go away and give you the result that you want. Let's try one. Now, nowhere in that sentence did I take ownership of it, or who invented it, whether it was me, Mike Mentzer, Arthur, nothing. I didn't take any credit. I looked like the guy that went out. So there's this information out there. I dug it up for you. Let's see if it works. Not, this will definitely work because I did the research on it.
Yeah, I was rambling a little bit there. I agree. I think, it's framing it in that way so much more. It's just way more appealing to the clients. It's about them and it's not about you and what you know, which is what you're saying. I think what I was talking about was slightly different, which is more about trust. If you're producing content that says how to, it's less trustworthy because people are like, oh, who are you to say whatever, Whereas if you're saying how it's like people can't argue with that because you're saying like, this is what we did. This is how we did it. So it's way more trustworthy and people tend to be more receptive to that. So that's Xavier Robertson. I think that's his last name. His company is Reform Fitness. So I think the handle is @Reform Fitness. So go follow Xavier. He's great. I really appreciate his stuff. So we'll move on to and obviously I think it's @Pure Physique. I could be wrong about that, but we'll link it in the show notes anyway. We're probably not going to have time to do all of them, Pete. So we'll do a couple more, okay?
Let's go.
Today's episode is sponsored by Imagine Strength, the game changer in safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training machines. When it comes to HIIT, Imagine Strength is your go-to for intelligently designed, efficient, and affordable equipment. Their team is passionate about HIIT, and it shows in every piece they craft. So why are Imagine Strength the right choice? Number one, they tailor make their equipment for HIIT studios. Number two, they provide cost-effective solutions for your business. And number three, they are committed to ongoing innovation and refinement. Ready to take your HIIT business to the next level? Visit imaginestrength.com to discuss your needs and find the perfect gear for your studio. Join the HIIT revolution of Imagine Strength and transform your workout experience today.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, this post is I'll tell you what I don't like about it. So it's the 3/4 angle shot that I like. The client is smiling, which I like. If you know anything about the machines, okay, this is a Menex leg extension machine. There are shields missing on the machine. There's a top shield missing. There's actually the shield next to his knee that's missing. It's a main shield. Yet some other shields are on. I think it's sloppy. Like your client should be on a machine that's all intact. And that's one thing. Also, there's a dumbbell in the shot, two dumbbells, if you look carefully. And you're really not sending a clear message. You're really not promoting anything. I don't like the blank bare wall. I definitely don't like the drop ceiling. So Pete, you don't like my drop ceiling. What am I going to do about that? Well, it's easy. You just do a tighter shot and the ceiling's not in the shot. I can show you thousands of posts where the ceiling's not in the shot. I want to look upscale because I would imagine, now I don't know this facility personally, but I would imagine they're charging a fair rate, 60, 70, maybe even $80 for a 15-minute workout and a 30-minute session, right? So if they are charging that kind of money, you need to be one level up. You can't look like a gym with weights laying around on the floor. You can't look like you have a drop ceiling, which tells me, I don't know if you rented the best space you could have. You can't have shields missing on your equipment, pick another machine. It looks like there's a leg curl right next door. Does that machine have all the pieces of equipment? Well, move them over. Get a smiling shot on that machine. The potential client doesn't really give a darn about the machine. They don't care. They don't care what exercise this is in. They're just trying to identify, well, this guy, he's not in the greatest shape in the world, and he's there doing this, and he seems to be liking it. That's the connection. Well, it's probably not that intimidating. I'd like to check this out. Maybe I could do that. But you really want to present it in its best light possible. You want to look upscale. You really want to knock these are static photos. You want to knock them out of the park. This one's not knocked out of the park.
I feel like the personal trainer should be in the shop as well. Because
I'll go
that's
with
what we're
Achille.
selling, right?
Yeah, and the personal trainer should be standing actually like on the other side of the machine, facing the camera, and a smile also, maybe leaning on the machine, something. Also, this black machine is right in front of a black door. If you notice the door in the back of the shot, it really throws.
I only just noticed that. I thought that was part of the machine.
These little tiny details are going to throw the potential client off, right? If it gets a little, well, I don't know what's going on there, but he seems to be happy, and it could be broken or something. Maybe he's happy about that. And then there's a dumbbell. So maybe he's got to lift the dumbbell while he's in the machine. I don't know about that. It doesn't matter. Whatever they come up with, it's not, oh, I should go try this.
Yeah. So tie the shot, get rid of the ceiling, get the shields on the machine. That's glaring. That needs to be fixed. Get the trainer in the pit. The guy, the position of the guy, the smiling, all of that's fine. And get rid of the dumbbells. That's the checklist there, isn't it? All right.
Yeah. That's another machine.
Let's move on to the next one. Okay.
Yeah. If you agreed with me on that one, that's 3 in a row. This is a horrible podcast because we should just stop right here if you agree with me 3 times.
I do. There's maybe some nuances where I don't, but I do. And frankly, I do want to get to more. So that's why I haven't been chatting. I've still been chatting a lot, to be fair.
Okay. This next one, I believe this is a Los Angeles, California super slow facility. And don't quote me on that. I do not know this person personally, but I have followed her
Isn't it
post.
Melissa? This is Melissa Gunn, Pure Strength LA, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I believe it is. I hope to meet her and talk to her at some time. She's been doing this. I think I heard her name for the well, I'll tell you exactly when I heard her name for the first time. I was having MedX equipment delivered to me, and the delivery man, his name was Ray, is Ray. He came in and I was just chatting a lot as he's unloading machines in my studio, one of my first studios. And, well, where were you this week? He go, oh, I had to go out to LA first for a woman named Melissa and deliver machines to her before I came across the country to New York to you. So I went from Florida to California, and then you're next, just chatting it up. Oh, how was her facility? What did she get? I'm an equipment junkie, so I wanted to hear about it. And he told me about the machines and she's got a storefront. He pointed that out because my facility is on the fourth floor of an office building. And he said, well, this is really different. You don't have any signs out. You don't have any, you look kind of like a doctor's office more than a gym or, and I just thought it was interesting that he pointed that. But that's the first time I heard Melissa's name. We didn't have any social media back then. I don't think there was no Facebook invented at that. We're going to look at it. This is 2001, 2002, I'm going to guess.
Simpler times.
Simpler times. So there was nothing to really follow her, but you keep your ear to the ground kind of thing. And, how's Melissa doing out in LA, and see if anybody has heard anything. So she had all MedX. I believe she's redesigned her facility. Now she has all Atlantis, I think is what you see the machine behind her is an Atlantis machine. So she switched out equipment. I remember sending her a private note and saying, I see you have some new machines. Why did you make the change, and how do you like them? And she sent me a really nice response and telling me how much she's enjoying these machines. On to this post. This post needs to build her business and attract more clients. Let me tell you why this one is not doing its job as well as it could be and how it can. So we've got a 3/4 shot on an exercise. That's a good thing. We've got her beautiful facility. Look at the color of the walls. Like in the last
very bright.
photo, it was gray on black. It was kind of, and the lighting was like this, fluorescent lighting. It's not the greatest lighting. This is natural lighting, plus whatever lighting she has above her. It's excellent lighting. The color of the red wall with the black and gray equipment, also excellent. Okay. Here's where it's going wrong. The client is in the middle of this exercise. Look at the facial expression on the client. Is she in pain? Is this difficult? Or does this feel pretty good? Now, this appears to me, and I don't know, I've never seen this machine before. It looks like a lumbar extension exercise. It appears to me. I'm a notable guy in the industry. I'm not 100% sure on that. That doesn't matter. But if it is a lumbar exercise, it should be one where really portraying this as something that's really going to make you feel great. Because people suffer from low back pain, and they want to come to an expert facility like this one and get rid of their low back pain. Well, looking at the client's face, I'm not sure it's getting rid of the pain. I'm also not sure of the exercise as a layman. Now, here's the key component. My trainer is kneeling in the kneeling position or squatted down. That is absolutely wrong. Guys, don't ever kneel. Don't ever squat. Now, don't do it in your training when nobody's taking a photo of you. And I really encourage you, don't do this. Okay. And don't do it in a photo. So it looks like you're subservient.
I see.
You're subservient. I want my trainer to be strong, tall, confident that they're going to help me. Not cocky, confident. So if she's standing, if I take her in this photo and I ask, let's say I'm the producer in this photo, I'm standing there, I'm ready to take the shot, and I ask the client, just pause in the extended position of this exercise, take a deep breath and relax your face. Okay, that's one. Melissa, stand up for me. Okay, I would like you to be holding a clipboard and maybe a stopwatch in the other hand, or just a clipboard, and look at your client and either have a relaxed face or a smile, your choice. That's telling me, now I'm looking this more like she's like my therapist, my doctor, the person who's going to fix me. That's what that static image is going to tell me.
Yeah.
But she's not getting that message across, even though she has all the components lined up to knock this out of the park.
Okay, cool. Let's do one more. We maybe do a part 2 to cover the rest. I want to cover one that nails it. So do you have one in mind?
Scroll through and I'll stop.
Okay.
You're on. I'll stop right here for 1 second. This is the Friday Fit Tip with Luke Carlson. Look at the papers in his hand. He's not coming across as an authority. He's coming across as this guy who I don't know, because he doesn't say who he is. This guy who went out and got this information for me, and he's reading it to me. Okay, that's the home run. Let's find another one.
Even though it's educational, you say, will you push back on that?
It's educational in a different way. It's educational, like he went out and found this for me.
Right.
Versus I'm telling you.
I see.
Nobody wants to be told. Hey, I saw this. Let me read it to you. I'm not an expert, but this sounds like it might help you out. It's really a different approach. It's the same exact words. It's really a different approach. And one is palatable and one is not as much.
Okay. No critique here. Nothing Luke could do better.
Nothing. He's dressed perfectly for this video, for this segment. He's usually dressed in a 3-piece suit and a tie. That won't work here. This is better.
Right. Why do you think it wouldn't work here? Because it's too much authority?
Well, you'll stop at this post because here's a fit-looking, well-groomed gentleman. So right away, there's a lot of identifying it. Here's my favorite thing. He's wearing a hoodie style pullover with his logo on it. Okay. Also, it's a Nike pullover. He's getting here, right? You can see it's the Nike logo up there. So that kind of ties it in. Like, well, it's the big brand Nike with this. What's this cover strength? I'm asking a question. I'm going to look them up. But you can tell he's fit without him showing his biceps. He's not wearing a t-shirt. Okay. You know how I am about that. Don't be showing off your muscles. It's not about you. It's about them. And that's what Luke's out there right now. And he's just knocking it out of the park. And I stopped and I watched the whole video. I wanted to see what he had to say.
Yeah, it was very good. I watched that one. Let's do one more. So can you see these thumbnails, Pete? You can just pick one.
I can.
I'll keep scrolling.
Pick them right there. The Fit 21. The green. Yep. Right there. Yep. That's the same one.
The chap on the chest press. Yep. Here we go.
Yep. Here you go. Here's a home run. Everything. This is Fit 20. It's a franchise that's in Europe and starting to break into the United States. Color of the equipment, excellent. It's white equipment with black pads, which is one of my favorite color combinations. It photographs very, very well. The client, it's a 3/4 angle. There's a smile in his face, even though he's clearly in the middle of the rep. Okay. He is the client you want. He looks like to be a baby boomer or a Gen Xer. He has got a great beard, well-groomed, a pair of glasses on, a smile in his face.
Looks like he's in okay shape. Yeah.
Looks like he's in okay shape. He's not a phenomenal athlete and he's not grossly out of shape. He's wearing a button-down shirt. What does that tell? Hey, why is he wearing a button-down shirt? I'm going to call and ask. This guy and jeans. So, miss, can you work out in your jeans? Why, yes, you can. Why don't you come in your jeans and I'll show you. That's like home run after home run. The trainer, smiling, attentive, wearing the logo, tastefully dressed. There's a clipboard. Actually, it's an iPad, right? Same thing. But it's one of the tools showing that she's tracking his progress and paying attention to the client. Home runs. There's nothing to change here. The colors. Then look at the lines. Look at the free, no obligation. Those are 2 words right there, right? Well, not obligations of praise. So 2 things right there. So I don't have to pay and I come out and ask questions about this. I'm not obliged to sign up for this introductory session. Call to action. You need a call to action in there, right? So here's an example. If you do at least 1 post a month, that's not a big commitment here. With these factors in mind, you're going to do better for your business. It's really that simple. You could do other posts. I want you to do other posts, but look for these principles. How are you standing? How are you facing the camera? Little tiny things. These things add up.
Excuse me, I was about to sneeze then. Pete, I have been pleasantly surprised by this podcast because I've learned a lot, and not that I always learn stuff talking to you, but it's just, a lot about, I guess I thought in this domain I would be more knowledgeable, but actually it's a lot of things where a lot of things you say, which I hadn't thought of, and makes a lot of sense to me in terms of how important they are for effective content. So I appreciate that. We're at time, short one today. Thank you so much, Pete. Maybe we can do a part 2 to cover more. Hopefully it's been helpful to the listeners and viewers. Again, I think we've done, if you just list this, hopefully this has been still valuable, right? But obviously if you want to see the posts, the images we've actually critiqued, then please go to YouTube, just search High Intensity Business. If you go to highintensitybusiness.com, episode 459, you can find the show notes, which have the YouTube links, all the other links, etc. So that was Fit 20. Again, you can just go to fit20.co.uk or .com, sorry. And obviously I'm sure it's like, if you just search Fit 20 on Instagram, there's hundreds at this stage of Fit 20 Instagram handles for various locations. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Pete. As always, this is great. People want to connect with you, go to Facebook, Pete Cerqua, CERQUA. You can find out about his services, his programs over at highintensitybusiness.com/coaching and book a free HIT business consultation with Pete. That's a free 1-hour consultation. Typical value, $1,000. It's free. Just go to highintensitybusiness.com/coaching to register your interest in that, and we'll get you scheduled. And without any further ado, get the show notes for this episode. Please go to highintensitybusiness.com, search episode 459. And until next time, thank you very much for listening.
Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Imagine Strength, your go-to for safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Growing a successful high-intensity training business requires workout equipment that's not only high quality, but also intelligently designed to fit the unique needs of your studio. And that's where Imagine Strength comes in. Drawing on the wisdom of the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength has crafted a groundbreaking line of fitness equipment that's as affordable as it is efficient, giving your studio the upgrade it needs without breaking the bank. The team at Imagine Strength breathes HIT. Their passion for high-intensity training shines through in their designs, which they've consistently refined and innovated for optimum effectiveness and user experience. From my personal experience at Rec, I can attest to the careful consideration and craftsmanship that goes into every single piece. My Imagine Strength workout was absolutely brutal, in a good way, of course. Now, what makes Imagine Strength truly stand out? They have innovative equipment tailored for the unique needs of HIT studios, affordable and efficient designs, lowering the barriers to entry for a HIT business, continuous innovation and refinement ensuring your studio stays ahead of the curve. Founder Jeff Turner and his team are dedicated to moving the HIT industry forward and making strength training accessible to more people than ever before. Here's how you get started. Number 1, visit imaginestrength.com. Number 2, discuss your specific needs with the team. And number 3, select the equipment that will propel your business to the next level. Head to imaginestrength.com today and give your HIT business the Imagine Strength edge. Be part of the HIT revolution and see firsthand how their unique equipment can transform your studio's workout experience. Elevate your HIT business with Imagine Strength.
Let's go.